Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to this month's Freshly Baked at Legality. I'm Shubhesh Kanodia, product marketer at Legality, and joining me today is Anshul from the product team. For the ones joining us for the first time, I just wanted to quickly touch upon what to expect from Freshly Baked at Legality. Here, you will be the first one to witness our new features in action. And it's like, having a front row seat to the future of digital documentation. And we're not just talking about feature demos or feature showcases. We want to delve deeper into how these features can unlock greater efficiencies and ROI for your unique use cases. And not just that, this will be a golden opportunity to speak directly with the product team. We have Anshul on this call. You can speak to her, ask as many questions as you want. And now coming to the crux of this webinar, which is OTPs. And in a typical digital document flow, OTPs, they help you, they help you as a security layer to uh, basically it helps you ensure that the correct user is signing the document. And even with legality, when you're e-signing or reviewing a document, whether via Aadhaar or otherwise, an OTP verification is usually required, to ensure the correct person is accessing the document. But there are two cases where OTP flows are not ideal. And in fact, I would say there are subpar experience in these cases. And case one in this case is when you're executing a non-critical document. And when I say non-critical, I mean these are the documents that you will never enforce. And these are the kind of documents that are likely never to be audited by any regulatory body. For such documents, you want to execute them as fast as possible without the added friction of OTPs. And case two is when you have a maker checker flow wherein a person is setting and reviewing each document that is getting executed. And here, entering OTP for each document really slows down the process, and you may not even need it because internal maker checker is your internal trusted individual. So you don't, in most cases, you don't need to do have a OTP verification there, and that's where legality's OTP less flows will step in. We have introduced two new features, one to review and one to e-sign document without OTPs. Now let's look at case number one, where you are executing non-critical documents. And when I say again, as I said earlier, non-critical documents, it means these are documents you will likely never enforce, nor these will be audited by a regulatory body. And you can see some of the examples of such documents in the yellow box at the bottom of my screen, or rather Azima's screen. And for these documents, you don't need any stringent security measures like OTP verification. These are the type of documents you want to execute as fast as you can, and without worrying about compliance or enforcement. And for all such documents, we have QuickSign. QuickSign is an OTP-less e-sign, and it is the fastest way to e-sign using legality. Like Anshul will show you in a few more minutes how fast it is, and like literally it takes no time at all. But before we jump into the demo, quickly wanted to cover a few illustrative examples. So first would be, let's say if you want to execute a employee handbook using QuickSign, and as I said earlier, any non-critical document, and employee handbook is an example of that, you can execute using QuickSign. It's a quick two-step process wherein HR team sends the employee handbook to any new employee. They sign it quickly within seconds and without wasting any time, and send it is automatically sent back to the HR team. And any document which is similar in nature, it will work the same way with QuickSign. But there's another use case which I'm sure will be very useful to lenders on this call today, and that is executing your KFS. And I'm sure like all of you must be aware that RBI recently made it mandatory for lenders to provide borrowers with a key fact statement and collect their acknowledgement on the key fact statement before sending them the loan agreement. This means before executing your loan docket and disbursing your loan, you will have to execute the KFS for sure. And for this, you will need two separate flows, one to manage KFS and one for your loan docket. In ordinary cases, this would mean like, the borrower has to undergo a process with two OTPs. They will have to e-sign everything. This means a greater chance of drop-offs because the more number of flows that are there and the more number of documents you would want your customer to sign, there's a greater chance of things going wrong there and customer just dropping off. But you can use QuickSign to collect KFS acknowledgement while reducing the chances of drop off, because at least in one flow this way you're giving them the least amount of friction that they can have. uh, customers in this case will sort of get the KFS sorry first. They'll do a quick sign in less than a minute, and immediately they will get a loan agreement for a normal eSign, whatever mode you prefer, most likely Aadhaar with OTP authentication. This means while your loan agreement stays secure, you're executing KFS as fast as you can. And Pixan essentially offers you a way to comply with this specific directive that has come in for KFS while reducing the chances of drop off for your customer. I would now like to invite Anshul and show us how QuickSign works. Over to you, Anshul.
Hi everyone, thank you Shubesh. So I welcome you all to our webinar. So let's see the demo. So I'll first log in, and this is our legacy dashboard that most of you, our existing clients, have already seen. And very recently we have unveiled a new and more powerful dashboard. So I'll click on experience the new legality, and here we go to the new UI. So this new dashboard is more powerful. It shows you transaction numbers like this, analytics, an enhanced UI, and a ton more other features in different sections here. So let's move to QuickSign now. So to have QuickSign enabled for you, you will need to have it enabled from your Leegality POC. You need to talk to your Leegality POC and have it enabled from Legality's side first. So once that is done, you can go to your account section here to manage it. So I'll go in accounts, under department. I can find all the e-signatures that are configured for me, like Aadhaar sign, virtual sign, quick sign, etc. So to ensure that my senders of this organization who are sending the document for e-signing should be able to opt for quick sign for their signers, I need to ensure that this toggle is on. So once this toggle is on, I can ensure that this can be selected by the senders in their sending journey. So along with that, I can manage other sub options available under QuickSign, like drawing signature, choosing a text for signature, or affixing a fingerprint. So I can select the options that I want to enable for my senders, for my organization, and I'm done. So now let's see how the journey would look like for the senders. So there are multiple ways you can send a document. If you have API integration, so you can send the document using the APIs. If you have workflows configured, you can send the document while running a workflow. And another way is to send a new document. So for this demo's purpose, I'll create a new document. So as Shabesh said, that QuickSign can be used for the documents which are less critical. And so one example is KFS, which is key fact statement. So let's say I want to have this document signed by my borrower. So I've uploaded this document, and once the document is uploaded, I can go to the next step, which is to add the invitees. So here, let's say I want to add my borrower. I can add their name first and then add their email ID or phone number. So I'm adding the email ID. Now, to enable quick sign, I need to ensure that in signature type, the option for quick sign is toggled on. So that quick sign is selected for this particular invitee. Let's see the sub options. So here I can see all the options that my admin had enabled from the accounts tab, which were to choose computer generated signature, which was a text or a font, which is already pre-generated by the computer, draw the signature, or affix a fingerprint. Along with QuickSign, now we are introducing a super fast journey for your signers in three simple steps. So, which would be they can just preview the document first, then give a consent second, and third, they just need to click on the sign button and they'll be done. So I'll talk more about this while I show you the signing journey in some time. But to have this quick, super fast journey enabled for my signer, I need to ensure that only this option is selected and draw and affix options are toggled off. Why? Because these typically take a little bit longer time. For example, to draw a signature, correct it, or affix a fingerprint using a biometric. So it takes typically longer time as compared to a computer generated signature. So I just need to enable this and toggle these off. Along with that, for a super quick journey, the three step quick super quick journey, I need to ensure that options like uploading supporting documents, Security features like capture GPS location or photo, these should also be toggled off so that there are no additional steps which can deter from a super fast journey otherwise. So of course you can use them if you want them, but for that super fast journey to kick in, we need to ensure that these are toggled off. So now I'll click on this save button. So I've added the invitee, I've ensured that I've selected quick sign for this user, and I've configured the other options along with that. So now, since I've added the borrower, I just want to get this signed by my borrower. So this is done. I'll move to the next step, which is to finalize this document. So I can see the document looks okay, and I can also see where the signature will be affixed after it is completely signed. So everything looks okay to me. I click on send. So this is our new post sending screen. So as you can see, I can see the invitee list here. I can see the document that I have sent by clicking on document. I have also have an option to download this document from here. And in invitee list, I see the borrower's name. I can see that this invitation is active for signing. It is not signed yet. That's why it is called it is showing unsigned here. But nevertheless, it is active for e-signing. I can see the email ID, etc. So, one point that I would like to highlight is legality in other sign options give an option to copy the URL directly from the detail screen, which is this screen. But we have intentionally not given that option here because we want to ensure that the document is getting signed by the intended invitee. Copy URL can lead to copying it and sharing it, and that may lead to people signing it who should not be signing it. So basically, that option is removed from here. So yeah, so let's proceed to the signing part of the journey. Sending part is done. Let's see how the signing journey would look like. So I have sent this document to my email ID only. So I get an option to sign it directly from here. So I click here. Let's see how the journey would look like for a mobile user. So as I can see, this is the document. Everything looks fine to me. I click on proceed. So that was step one. I give the consent here. That is step two. This is a signature that would appear. And third step is to click on this button, which is sign document. So once that is done, my document is signed. So that is how fast quick sign journey is. So quick sign is pretty quick. So that concludes my demo. So for the signing journey, now let's take a look at how the audit trail would look like. So once the document is signed, I'll just refresh it. Yeah, so now it shows that it is signed. I can download the signed document. As you can see at the bottom, the e-sign, the signature is affixed here. Let's see how the audit trail would look like. So I'll download an audit trail for this. So in the audit trail, you'll not see the line items indicating OTP generation or verification because that process was skipped in QuickSign. And here you can see that this document was e-signed using QuickSign. So that is also mentioned here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So back to you, Shubesh.
Thanks a lot for that, Anshul. And before we move on, I see quite a lot of people have joined us during this demo. So quickly wanted to recap what we were discussing. So we just discussed why people need QuickSign. Azima, could you go back one slide? One more, one more, one more. Yeah. So we were just discussing one case wherein you would need an e-sign which is OTP less, and this is for documents which are not critical. Examples of those are under your screen, as I said previously. Then we saw two examples of where you can use QuickSign. Azima, go to those. Yeah. First was employee handbook and how you can quickly execute that, and second was how you can quickly execute KFS using QuickSign and why it works. Now, moving on. Before this one question, in fact, we've been getting about QuickSign, even when last time we showed it, that whether it is legal or not, is it compliant or not? The simple answer is yes. It is perfectly legal and compliant under Section 10A of the IT Act. It is valid for any contractual document. But we recommend it only for non-critical documents, the kind of documents that you will never enforce or will never be audited. because it's a little harder to enforce quick sign compared to Aadhaar eSign or even virtual secure virtual sign. Uh, and even before using QuickSign, we recommend that you speak with your legal team and compliance team to evaluate its feasibility. And moving on to the next case, which is relevant if you have a maker checker reviewing documents. Uh, so imagine, like, you have a use case of decent volumes and your compliance requires an internal reviewer to check all of these documents before they are executed or sent out for e-signing. This happens for documents, for like high volume loans or high value loans, not high volume. Here you may not want to review the reviewer to enter the OTP each time, because it's annoying and it kills their productivity, because for hundreds of documents they'll have to set, open their email, open the document, then do OTP verification, and then review the document at the end. And in this, if the OTPs are delayed, that's another headache for them to deal with, because it delays the entire process for them. And this becomes frustrating and wastes a lot of time, especially when you may not need the security that OTP provides for this internal trusted reviewer, as I've been saying since the start of this showcase. And that's why we've launched OTP-less reviewer flows. With it, reviewers can quickly review any document with a single click without entering OTP each time. Uh, this can be critical for, say, loan agreements, wherein KFS you're already execute. There's already an additional step, right, for that you have to execute KFS now. So you have to find ways to improve your TAT for loan docket execution without compromising on enforceability, compliance, and security. Here, you can simplify the reviewer's flow by removing the OTP and increase the speed of loan docket execution by that much amount of time. So let's see how it works. I would now like to invite Anshul for the product demo. Back again to you, Anshul.
Thank you, Shivesh. So, for OTP-less reviewer journey, first prerequisite is that reviewer option should be enabled for your organization. So, if reviewer option is enabled for your organization from legality side, you will be able to manage it in from your accounts for admin. So, in account section, in department tab, under invitee config, you'll be able to see that this is the reviewer role. If it is enabled for you, then you'll see an option which is disable OTP authentication for reviewer. So if I check this, then sender of the documents will have this option in the sending journey, and they'll be able to toggle it on for the reviewers. So this is how you can set up this particular feature. So once that is done, let's see how the sending journey would look like. So for that, again, I'll create a new document, and this time, let's say I'm going to upload a loan document, for which I need to first add a reviewer who reviews it, and only after a successful approval from the reviewer, the final signer gets to sign it. So now I uploaded the document, I can see it here, so it is successfully uploaded. I'll click on next and go to the next section where I add invitees, and invitees can be reviewers and your signers. So let's say first I add a reviewer, their email ID or phone number. Here I to make sure that to ensure that this reviewer is enabled, I need to click on this button, which is a review button. Through this, I indicate I tell my system that this particular invitee is a reviewer. Here I get two options. One is if I want to record the reviewer's response in audit trail, that gets generated after the document is completely signed, as I showed you in previous demo. So I can turn this on here. And here for OTP-less journey, I would please note that there's an option which says require OTP to approve or reject. This by default is on. So if you want to enable an OTP-less journey for a reviewer, you need to toggle this off. So this indicates that OTP will not be required for this particular reviewer. So I am sorted here. So I'll click on save. So I've added a reviewer, which is an OTP, who's going to have an OTP-less journey. Now, after this document is reviewed by this reviewer, I would like to have it signed by my borrower. So I'll add my borrower details here, their email ID. And let's say I want them to sign using Aadhaar once the document is successfully approved by the reviewer. So I have first invitee as my reviewer. Once they successfully approve it, then the borrower will get the invitation and then they'll be able to sign. So I've added the invitees. Now I'll click on next. Again, I'll finalize the document. I'll check that if everything is fine in the document where the signature will appear. Here you can see only one signature placeholder because only signer's signature will of course appear on the document, not reviewers. So only one signature placeholder is here. So if everything looks fine, I'll click on send and send the document. So let's see how our detail screen looks now. So here only reviewer's invitation is active, borrower's invitation is inactive. It will get activated only once the reviewer approves this. It is not reviewed yet though, but it is active. So since again, just like with quick sign, we have not given an option of copy URL, as you can see in Aadhaar's case, where borrower's case, where the signing would get done using Aadhaar, where a copy URL option is there. But with reviewers, since it is an OTP-less journey, authentication is not happening. So that is why we have removed that copy URL option so that the reviewing journey is done by the invitee, the intended invitee. So I'll now move to the reviewing journey. So since I sent it to myself, I get an option to review directly from here, from this dashboard. So now this is how this reviewing journey would look like. So the first step here is again to preview the document to ensure that if everything that I wanted is in place or not. So once I have previewed the document, I click on proceed, which is this button. And here I get an option to accept or reject it. If I reject it, I'm prompted to give a rejection reason, which is optional. If I accept it, I just simply need to check this checkbox and click on approve document. So once done, this is I see a success message and it is done. You have reviewed the document. And here you can see for the reviewer, it is approved. And that is why it is now active for borrower. So now borrower can go ahead and sign the document using Aadhaar eSign journey. So it's as simple as that. So back to you, Shibesh. That's it.
Thanks a lot for that, Anshul. Yeah, awesome. So with that, we've come to the end of this showcase. So in case anyone has any questions, you can either send them to us in the Q&A box, or you can raise your hands and we'll give you mic access to ask questions. In the meantime, Anshul, there's a new type of e-sign that we're working on, right? Do you want to tell people about that
Yeah.
visual signature?
So we are working on a new eSign type, which is visual sign, which will allow you to affix the appearance of image on the document. So so we are working on it, and we are pretty excited about it. So we'll come back to you on this forum and showcase that feature to you. But it'll come soon.
Great. And anything new in the OTP less front that's coming that people should know of?
This is one of the most requested feature, especially for the reviewer role. So we got this request on multiple occasions. So we are really happy with the OTP less journey for the reviewer. I think there's a question, Ashpesh.
In this, one more query. Now, in cases of agreements, also you said this is an approved, what is it called? Approved way of signing agreements. Also, did I hear it correctly?
Yes. Aditya, do you want to explain a bit more about that?
Yeah. Hi, Rakesh. So
Hi.
it is legally valid to sign agreements through this method. So it will never be disputed on validity. However, for agreements that you need to enforce, it's definitely harder to enforce than a Aadhaar e-sign or a secure OTP-based sign. That's why we advise using it only for documents where enforcement is or audits are not a priority at all, where signing is purely an operational matter. So it's technically valid, but in terms of enforcement and audits for whether it's, RBI audits for critical documents like loan agreements, it's not quite built for that.
Why I ask is because the countersign of the loan agreement is from our branch manager or an authorized signatory, whoever it is. It could be a regional manager, a credit officer, credit manager, or somebody. So that is
Correct.
where this OTP can be useful, right? OTP less.
Exactly. In fact, we do have an automated way to have your branch manager signature where without OTP, it can automatically be affixed if you configure a certain logic where after all borrower sign, branch manager does not even need to manually do it. They can do it manually via OTP-less, or they can do it automatically via automated virtual sign as well. So actually, we'll get in touch with you to show you both flows, because if you want to basically make the branch manager signature easier, we can show you both those flows in an individual one-on-one demo.
Yeah, that will be great. Yeah, thank you.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I think Netra, your hand is raised again. So feel free to speak.
Hello.
Yeah, Netra, we can hear you.
Actually, I was having one question. For example, you are saying it is without OTP. So e-signature charge will get deducted or not?
Yes, there will be a charge for this. It will not be the same as say an Aadhaar eSign charge, but there will be a charge that is deducted for this. And we
So
will,
it is more than the current one or lesser?
since this is a new feature that we've just launched, we have to incorporate it into our pricing modules, but we will be doing that within the next 24 hours. So when our CSM reaches out to you, we'll ensure that they come to you with the pricing as well.
Okay,
Great. Does anyone else has any questions? We're here for a few more minutes, so just hanging around for a bit. In case you do have any questions, feel free to ask us. Okay, great. Seems like nobody else has any more questions, but in case you do, you can still ask them to us. Sharing my email ID as well as Aditya's and Anshul's in the chat box. You can just text us anytime you want or email us anytime you want on these email IDs in case you have any queries. We'll be available on these email addresses. And yeah, with that, we've come to the end. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us today. We'll see you in the next edition. If you want to get information as soon as we plan our next edition, Azima, could you go back to the previous slide? Yeah, you can just scan this code, get sign up for our WhatsApp updates, and we'll keep sending you updates as and when they come over on WhatsApp. So yeah, thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us today. We'll see you in the next edition. Have a good evening. Bye.